early 80s, some exciting book musicals came out, like Barnum, Nine, Little Shop of Horrors, and My One and Only. Weber also shelled out the enormous hit Cats, which became the longest-running show on Broadway. The most incredible thing about Cats was the marketing behind the whole project. Its logo was unmistakable in the 80s and early 90s.
A continuous flow of British mega musicals came from over the Atlantic during the 80s. A French team, Schoenberg and Vogel, created the worldwide hit Les Mis. It is one of the most popular music ever made and has translated into hundreds of languages. What the heck is that?
Sondheim and Weber had another competition with the release of the Stevens Into the Woods and Weber's Phantom of the Opera. Phantom had more success than Into the Woods and is still on Broadway today. Mostly the 80s were a time when the Brits got a little of their own back, but the mega musical craze would grow back in the 90s.
The overall biggest hit of the 90s was Lion King, a large budgeted show with lots of puppets and extensive costuming. Rent was also very popular, but not as prosperous as Lion King, although it did win a Pulitzer Prize. From 2000 on, some musicals were Aida and Contact, but the general feel of Broadway was that it was going downhill and was no longer as prosperous as it once was.
For the longest time, Broadway's played with sad and depressing musicals. People are not coming to shows anymore. That was thrown aside with the creation of the producers from Mel Brooks. The show was coming from a comedic genius who was successful in film and show.
Another breed of musical showed up in this period, the jukebox miracle with Mamma Mia. They are shows made from existing pop songs and woven into a plot. Other recent hits include Thoroughly Modern Millie, Hairspray, Wicked, Avenue Q, and Spamalot.
The future brings a scary question to drama lovers. Is the musical a dead art form? Many respected composers and writers have argued about this for many years. If the musical theater community continues making great musical comedies like The Producers, Hairspray, and Spamalot, then there may be hope for the future. But if the financial situation on Broadway worsens, then it spells an ugly fate for the musical, which struggles to make a profit already. With production costs running so high, time can only tell what will happen to this changing art form. I leave with a quote from theater historian Denny Martin Flynn. A light, however dim, shines at the end of a tunnel. After 2 decades of domination by heavy-handed entertainment, without substance, style, or sense, perhaps the American musical theater will still be here tomorrow, alive and well, and shining. Flynn, paid $4.95. Musical, The Grand Tour. The musical is not yet dead. It can dance, and it can sing. This has been Sir Weatherton Popperfield. Have a good night, and sleep well with chorus girls dancing in your head. We're done!